Copy Transport Requests to local file system. Introduction. When you are doing development work or customizing an SAP system, your change will be returned to a transport request. Once the work is finished, the request will be transported to another system, test or production system. The source and target systems of such a transport route are defined in the SAP system customizing. In case you want to get direct access to a transport file, example to transport modification to a third system that had not been included in the transport route yet, you need direct access to the file system to copy the transport file manually. This blog demonstrates a simple way to download release transport request from an SAP system without accessing the file system directly. This video assumes that you have sufficient authorization to perform the step specified below. You launch the transaction PSCG. Make sure the steps are compliant to your company's organizational security guideline. You have to release a transport request before you are able to download it into your local machine. You use for that the transaction SA10. You select the transport order and you click on the icon track. As you can see, we have the information that all the order has been released. Your transport request. First, you have to keep in mind the name of the transport request you want to store, the transfer directory of the SAP system, releasing a transport request for the SAP system to store the request in two files on the server, one header, also known as co file, and the one body file as known data file. To download this file, you have to figure out the system specific setting in which directory the file will be written. Or you run transaction AL11 in which the directory parameter can be accessed. For the directory parameter dir trans and not the corresponding directory. Header and the body file are stored in different directory on the server. We show how to figure out their names. Find name and directory of the request header file. A double click on the entry dir trans introduction AL11 display the corresponding content. Other entries, you will find two subdirectories called co-files and data. Click on co-file to enter this directory. You should find the header file of your transport request with the following name in syntax. You can use Ctrl+F to search for it. If you have found your file, note the entire directory name and the file name. As follows. Name and directory of the request body file. Return to the dir transaction directory and open the data subfolder. You'll find the body file of your transport request in here with the naming syntax. Not directory and file name as well. If you cannot find your file, either the release of the transport request failed, or there are other subdirectories defined in your system. Function module to transfer the file. Now you are able to download the two files from the application server to your local file system. You can use the standard function module archive file server to client. Use transaction FA37 to execute the module requires an exporting parameters the full. I repeat. The function module requires as importing parameter the full qualified path A from the source, B from the target system including the file name. Octets. You can looking for your file in your desktop. That's all. File can be used to be imported into another SAP system. To upload file, you can use the standard function module archive file client to serve. Additional step, if you have to download transport request this way, very often the procedure described above is very time consuming. You can use the transaction STMS to add this other order as follows. In French, autre fonction, autre ordre ajouté.